fine and that you enjoy the 24th of March. Today is a fantastic day. The weather is fantastic over here in Switzerland, and I'm looking forward to start this workshop today. And we have a special occasion. We will welcome a US school directly close to Seattle to start with. So I can see that many of my agents from around the world, which I'm very familiar with, are with me today. I would like to say hello to several of my long clients since more than 15 years. Kuldeep from Australia. Hello, Kuldeep, and hello, Cindy from South Korea. So I would like to say hello to everyone else, first of all, to join us. I can see that more and more agents are joining us at the moment. We are reaching 43 agents from 22 different countries at the moment. So we are looking forward to start this workshop today and entry a little bit in the United States, which now everything is reopened and students start to go back to study in the United States, which is a very good sign. And we know that the next intake is September. So now is March. We have all the time to register the students for the next intake. So I think now is the right moment to start with the presentation of the US schools. You know, before to start with the first person speaker, that will be Alicia. I can see Alicia is already here with us today. Hello, Alicia. Good morning to you. I know it must be 2 o'clock in the morning over there or 1 o'clock. So I think you start very early today, or you're still out since last night. So Alicia, we're looking forward to welcome you. But before to start with Alicia, I want to show a video, a 2 minutes video, because I can see that more agents are joining us at the moment, a 2 minutes video, which will give you an idea about the idea of the students to study in this particular school. So let me share my screen first of all, and let's start. Of course, we are live here. Everything can happen as usual. So let me start here with the first video.
Melody Gao. I'm from Shenyang, China.
I chose Archbishop Murphy because I watched a YouTube video about it and I just feel like, wow, this is the campus I want to go.
So the students say, wow, this is the campus she wants to go. And this is very important. When a student is happy, we've done 90% of our work already. So let's see the interview.
I can see the spirit of the school in the video, so that's the main reason why I chose this school.
Well, I choose Archbishop Murphy because the variety of sports, and there are lots of like AP classes that I can actually choose from. So I have a lot of options, and yeah, that's why I choose Archbishop Murphy.
I choose Archbishop Murphy because it is a religious school. I really like the Catholic environment in the school.
A normal day, so you just come to school in the early morning. I usually have leadership class starting from this year. So I come here at 7 o'clock, and then we will end the class at 8, then we'll go to class with our friends together. And basically you have 2 or 3 classes and you'll have lunch. And I sit with all my friends in cafeteria together, we share lunch together. Then you have your last period and prayer, then we go home. That's a normal day.
I've learned a lot of things here at Murphy. Like schools in China and in America are so different. The relationship between teachers and students are so different. Like here, you can just talk with the teacher, just tell them everything.
Well, I won't consider there's one highlight, but I consider that like for the whole 3 year in Archbishop Murphy is my highlight, and yeah. Well, I would tell them like if my friends want to go abroad and study, I will actually suggest them to go to our school because we have like a lot of options of various different AP classes and also different kinds of sports team. And yeah.
My first host family was in the mountains, and it's in Snohomish County. So I got to see, I have trees around me, and when I wake up every day in the morning, I have birds. I will say this is a place where it's between a city and a country.
I really like Snohomish County because it's kind of away from the city, so during like school days you can concentrate on your study. It's not so far from Seattle too, so on the weekends you can just ride a bus going to Seattle and have fun with friends. So Monday meetups is a gather. We just hang out, eat food, eat good food, play games. It's really fun. It's an opportunity for all international students to get together and socialize. Yeah.
We're a Catholic school, so one thing I find really I've picked up is forgiving. That's a huge thing. I was not a person who was patient. I'm still not that good, but I think I've improved a lot.
After I graduate from Archbishop Murphy, I will actually
So, ladies and gentlemen, I will stop the video here because this gives you the first idea about the school that will give a presentation now. And in the meantime, we reach 50 agents from 25 different countries. So it's very great to welcome some more agents. Thank you very much to join us. So Alicia, you can unmute yourself and so we can welcome you. You just need to unmute yourself. Hello, Alicia, how are you today?
Hi, good morning. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you to join us and thank you to start with the first presentation today. And as you can see, we have 51 agents with us at the moment here and more still join us. So this was the first warm up in show them a little bit about what the students think about your school, which is always very important because I always say that we can give all the brochure, all the material, the best website, the best location, the best accommodation. But if the student is not happy, then we are losing. But when we see happy faces and students who really speak from the heart, this is already the first step that the agent should understand, and they understand that they can sell this school to the parents who are interested to send the students to the United States. I know that your school is open. I mean that you welcome students on campus. Is this correct?
Yes, we've had students back on campus since September.
Wow. Tell me a little bit, how many students study at your school usually during the year in total?
We have about 465 total students in our school.
Wow. So, and how is the situation now with the COVID? Is half of the students back to the school and half online, or how it works? How is the situation now?
We have about 2/3 of our students back, so about 60%, and the other 40% are choosing to remain remote. But with the virus transmission rates, they're fairly low in our area right now, and so it's allowed us to have kids back on campus daily.
So what did you did during the COVID time when you had international student who wanted to continue to study with your school, and if they went back, did you use an online portal like Moodle so they was able to continue the study, or how it was handled?
Yes, that's exactly what we did, Richard. We did that for all of our students as we used Moodle, whether they were international students or domestic students. And those who chose to return to their home country continued to attend as well. And if there is a significant time difference, we worked to make sure they were able to access course content.
Wow, this is fantastic. So your school is issue I-20, correct? So all the international students, they receive the I-20, so they're eligible to study in the US. Tell me a little bit the history of the school. Since when the school is existing? Since how many years?
Well, we've been around for over 30 years. We were first opened in 1988.
Wow. So 1988, I started my business. So I remember I was 21 years old. So this is when I started. And here we are after 30 years. You have a fantastic school. And in the meantime, more and more agents are joining us. We are now on 55 agents. I can see as well agents from Russia, Ukraine, join us from Central Europe, from Asia, from the Middle East, from Asia. I will not mention any country, because then if I mention one country, someone is sending me a chat message. Do not forget us. So welcome everyone to join us today, as well from London, yes, as well from India, as well from China. Welcome, ni hao to everyone. So we have agents coming from the Philippines as well today. Fantastic. So I can see that many agents are joining us from different countries. So I think we are quite ready to start. Alicia, you can start to share your screen, and I would like to invite all the agents and as well all the new agents who just joined us at the moment. If they have some questions, to put the question directly on the chat system. And very important is to remain on mute modality. This is very important that you remain on mute modality. Now we're reaching 60 agents. And so more agents are joining us at the moment as well. So it's very good to have this high number of interest from agents from around the world. So please remain on mute modality. And we will register this session as well today. So when we will send you an email when everything is finished later today or tomorrow, you will receive an email from us. Then you will receive an email from the school. You have as well the possibility to arrange a one-to-one session with Alicia and Alicia team, because they are ready to welcome many international students for the September intake. So we will record this and we will send you a YouTube link, so you can always using this presentation of today for your internal training session with your own staff. You can show this presentation as well to the parents, which is always helps. What is very important here before that we start with Alicia is that you have to know that many students, if they study the final year in a school in the US, they have a fantastic opportunity to enter directly into US university. And Alicia will then explain you a little bit about how to enter and which university they're working together. And we call this like the best route to enter into the university. So Alicia, sorry that I was speaking a little bit more, but I can see that more and more agents are joining us. So this is why I always take in my 5-10 minutes to speak a little bit to everyone. So very important, please remain on a mute modality. And Alicia will give the presentation now. If you have any question, just put this on the chat system. Please start, Alicia, with you. Sometimes I will just hand off my finger and I will ask you maybe some questions.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, Richard. And thank you everybody for joining us this morning and for your interest in Archbishop Murphy High School. And Richard, can you see my screen okay?
Yes, your screen is okay. It's fantastic.
Perfect. Just wanted to make sure before I got too far into the presentation. So this image here shows one of our athletic fields and our very gorgeous campus that we sit on. We have a very unique campus that I'll tell you a little bit about. But you'll see on here, it also includes one of our mottos, inspiring Christ-like leaders. Basically for us, what that means is pretty simple, but it's an important thing for kids, is to be a good community member and to just be a good person who develops their own gifts and talents and skills so that they can help serve others. To tell you a little bit more about our school, we are a well-established school. We have been around for over 30 years, and we are fully accredited and a private Catholic high school. We're located just slightly north of Seattle, Washington. It's actually a short commute into the city. I happen to live right in the city and commute in. So students have a lot of opportunities to go to school on this very spacious campus, while easily going into the larger city of Seattle. We have a little over 465 students, and that allows us to have in this large campus fairly small class sizes where students can get a lot of personal experience, an individual experience. And they're taught by teachers who have advanced degrees, including teachers who have doctorates, teachers who have law degrees from their previous career before entering teaching. So they're highly qualified teachers who are extremely passionate and dedicated, as well as being experts in their subject. As you'll see here, we have a 1:11 teacher to student ratio. So students really get a lot of individualized and personal support from teachers who are experts in their field. I have with me today a few other representatives from our school. We have with us our director of our international program, Shay Meehan. I have with us Steve Schmetz, the president of our school. I have with us Jana Zitnik, our director of admissions, who also supports marketing. And I, of course, am Alicia Mitchell, the principal of Archbishop Murphy High School. I'm going to turn it over to Jana briefly, and then you're going to hear from her again a little later in the presentation. But I wanted to give you a little context of what opportunities are available in our local community in the greater Seattle area. Janet, could you share a little bit about what our area is all about?
Yeah, thank you so much. And so as Alicia mentioned, we are very close to the city of Seattle, and many of our students and faculty members do commute from Seattle into our school. But Seattle in general is a very diverse international community. It's a very beautiful area if you've never been. We have lots of beautiful scenery, mountains, beaches, water, beautiful green trees. Something that many of our international students always mention is how beautiful it is in our area, and we're very lucky to live here. In addition, there are many top universities that are close in our area, especially University of Washington, Seattle University, schools that we have great partnerships with. But in addition, we have a wonderful partnership with a major hospital called Providence Hospital, that is not only just in Seattle, but it's on the West Coast and in California as well. But we have a great partnership with them for our health studies program, which is one of our unique programs that we do bring to students. But kind of a little bit lastly about the area is we were voted again as the best state to live in. So it is just really wonderful area to live in, and great opportunities for students if they come here.
Thank you, Jana. Thank you very much for your first introduction of yourself. I can see you have a happy smiling. It's about, what time is over there, by the way, at the moment, just to be curious?
Oh, it's 2:20 a.m., Richard. I was going to give you a weather report, but it's very dark outside.
Okay, so 2:20 a.m. in United States. We have 69 agents at the moment join us. And we are quite reaching as well 29 different countries. I can see them more and more are joining us from everywhere. So it looks very good, the starting. So Alicia, please continue with the presentation.
Great, thank you. And you'll hear from Jana Zitnik, our Director of Admissions, again a little later in the presentation, as well as from our Director of our International Program, as well as our President, Steve Schmetz. Again, for those of you who are just joining us, I'm Alicia Mitchell, and I'm the Principal of Archbishop Murphy High School. And Jana, thanks for sharing some highlights about what this area brings for us. And I just want to point out, we don't just have logos of various businesses on here just for fun, or we have these because these are businesses that are headquartered and many of them founded in the Seattle area. And we try to bring in guest speakers or give students opportunities for internships or access to opportunities to learn more about these local businesses as well, many of them who you may have heard of. But I want to bring you back to our campus. This is an aerial view of our campus, and it is incredibly unique in that we are an extremely spacious campus. We have 3 very large instructional buildings with state-of-the-art facilities, full science labs, performing arts spaces, a large gym, 2 large athletic fields. This is pretty unique as far as high schools go in this area, and that we do not face the overcrowding issues that some high schools face while still being very close to the city. This allowed us, especially during the virus, to move fairly quickly to bringing students back on campus But Archbishop Murphy High School never missed a beat in providing high quality instruction to all students, even during initial closure orders in this area. We have had students back on campus in some capacity since September of this year, and we've increased the number and frequency of kids being on campus as virus rates have decreased in this area. They're fairly low right now in this area. And in doing so, we now have students on campus for daily in-person learning. About 60% of our students have signed up for that, but we could have more here if more wanted to come. And about 40% are continuing to attend remotely. We're well set up for students to get the same instruction they would get if they're physically in the classroom. If they're attending remotely, they're taught by the same teachers, they receive the same content, and they access all of their course materials through Moodle, our online learning management system.
Question.
This is a very, yes.
I have a question. So students who study remotely because of many issues happen at the moment around the world, do they get the live session as well?
Yes, students can choose one of two options. They're welcome to attend our live synchronous class sessions, which are live streamed from the actual classroom. Alternatively, for students who are attending at a time difference, they can access recorded content, and it's all made available. But we also, if they're not attending our live sessions, we make sure that they're meeting weekly at a time that works in their schedule. If they're attending at a very different time zone with our school staff to make sure they can access those lessons.
I start to get the first questions. There are some of the students who just joined, some of the agents who just joined us. They want to know approximately how many students you have on campus. If you can please repeat this one more time, how many students you have during the year, just to have an idea for them.
We have approximately 465 students enrolled in Archbishop Murphy High School total. Currently, we have about 60% choosing to attend in-person learning, and the other 40% has chosen to remain remote at this time.
Thank you very much. Please continue, Alicia. Sorry if I'm interrupting you sometimes, but when I get to know questions, I will come back to you.
Oh, please do. I appreciate it. So this allowed for daily in-person learning, which our students are enjoying, and those who attend remotely are not missing a beat. They're getting all of that same important learning throughout the impact COVID has had. To give you some close-ups, here's some other shots where you can see what those three large spacious academic buildings look like. These are wonderful state-of-the-art facilities. And we also, in addition to those three academic buildings that include science labs, performing arts space, we also have a chapel on our campus, which students can access throughout the day, and which we use for smaller prayer services or personal reflection. Academics. We have a very robust academic program that has been well established. Our graduation rate is something we are very proud of. 100% of our students graduate on time, and almost all of our students choose to go on to post-secondary education right out of high school. They are well prepared to go on to university, and we're going to talk throughout this presentation today about how we prepare our students for university study. Our students actually can access both advanced placement and honors courses starting in high school, including some courses that are taught as partnerships with universities, including the University of Washington, Seattle University, and Everett College. These are opportunities where they take courses at Archbishop Murphy High School and earn university transcripts before ever even graduating high school. This is a great advantage in the college admissions process. It tells colleges, and something that universities in the United States love to see, that our students chose to take very highly rigorous coursework before even graduating high school. In addition to that, they have advanced placement courses, and most of our students graduate with some form of college credit before even attending university, when they're still high school students. We make sure, though, that we offer a broad range of academic support so that we can serve students who are needing support in English language learning. We provide SAT preparation classes for students who would like to get support preparing for that very important SAT test that helps to them in their college admissions process. We provide peer tutoring, and we also have support sessions after school for both English writing and also for math for students who need additional math support. These are all to just help them to be successful in school. I know I've mentioned before we have state-of-the-art facilities. You can see an example of that here. We're very proud of our facilities. We have beautiful science labs. This is one of our science classrooms here. As Jana mentioned before, we don't just have partnerships with universities, we also have partnerships with some businesses, including a major hospital network in the United States, Providence Hospital, who allows students to sometimes come in and tour lab facilities. During COVID, they've even done virtual field trips with our students and to come in as guest speakers as our students can engage in science studies. But we also have great computer labs, a theater, a black box theater, a testing center, strength training, and a band and orchestra space. So we try to really appeal to a broad range of student interests. We also have a lot of unique electives. We have a pretty broad range of classes. We have some of the traditional courses of study that you would see in a typical American high school experience, but we also try to offer a lot more to have our students get some really great experiences in specialized. That's why it's wonderful that we have teachers with such highly qualified backgrounds and other professional experiences that they share with students in the classroom. But these are just a few of the examples. These are not all of our electives. These are just some of the unique classes that students can take. We offer additional elective opportunities so students can explore areas of interest in math and science, in language and communications, fine arts, and business and technology. This allows students to pursue specialized areas of interest prior to ever graduating high school, which can really help a student stand out in their university or college application. Our students are really advantaged in that admissions process to universities by these opportunities. It comes through when they have university interviews or when they write their essay for universities. They can speak to these very specific experiences. One thing that I think is always a neat point about our school, something we've done for a long time, is in our math and science program, students can actually take math up to 2 levels beyond, up to what would be considered university level math if they should choose to, if they're at that level, but 2 levels beyond what all other high schools in Washington State offer. So we have quite an accelerated program for those students who would like to pursue further levels in math. If they're at that level. We also have other opportunities for students to explore various areas, including in our business and technology program, we have a pathway where students can explore areas of learn about business and explore areas of business. Or if it's a student who's maybe interested in a health profession or maybe a future medical career, we have a health studies program that was designed by one of our faculty members who, prior to being a teacher, was a physician.
This is very requested, this program, Alicia, at the moment in the market, especially now because of the pandemic. Many students want to go in this direction. So I think we can highlight this program when we send out the information to all the agents who join us today, because I'm sure that they will have many students who will be interested to look into this program.
It's been a wonderful program. Our students have loved it. And it really helps them to determine if they really want to continue to study a career in the medical profession, if they want to study medicine or go to medical school in their post-high school studies. So it really helps to prepare students well in a unique way that they might not have an opportunity to in a high school that has more traditional, simply more traditional offerings. So it's been a great asset to our kids, and a lot of kids are involved in that program. We also, though, we've developed our business pathway program, and that allows students to even pursue internship opportunities and maybe even get known in a local business or in some of those large companies that are known to the Seattle area. In addition to academics, we really believe in developing well-rounded students. I think and feel connected to our really great community. Having so many different opportunities and extracurriculars allows our students to make friends right away, even when they're coming in new to the school. There is truly something for everyone at Archbishop Murphy. These are just some examples of what is offered. We actually offer far more than this. These are just some highlights of some of the favorites and popular activities. Many of our students are involved in sports, which is great because it helps them to get to know friends. And many of our students are involved in clubs as well, and even help with the leadership of student clubs. It's wonderful for helping kids to feel connected and have great learning experiences, but it also helps in their university application process because American universities really do look for seeing involvement outside of the classroom as well. And we have these opportunities built right in for students to get involved with things outside of the classroom.
I have a general questions to ask. Because you are such a multi-culti school, and I can see you have students from all around the world, and we have agents with us from today, which include Vietnam, Thailand, Taiwan, China, Bangladesh, India, and many other countries from Southeast Asia, Asia themselves, of course, Russia, etc., like explained before. What about the food? What about the food? Because the food is a very important part for the kids. I mean, for me as well, and I presume for everyone. But do you have, how is the food? Do you have some mix like Asian, etc., etc.? How did you handle this?
With the food, correct?
Yeah.
Well, I will say that something the Seattle area is known for is our exceptional food. We're kind of spoiled in that way. There is great food and a broad range of offerings, both in the local community as well as what we provide on campus. We actually currently we work with a catering company who delivers in meals, and we have a variety of different options that students can choose from, and they can order ahead. And I will tell you, the food is so good that I actually order my lunch every single day from school, and I eat our food that we bring in. And sometimes I order extra and bring it home to my husband because he likes it so much too. So I will say we have a delicious food at Archbishop Murphy. And we also make sure that we provide food that is meets a broad range of dietary needs and palates, because we know that everybody has different needs, and we have an incredible focus on wellness in our school. We even have a director of wellness who helps us to oversee that we are living healthy and balanced lives. Our director of wellness helped us to design our food program to make sure that it's not just food, but that it's food that's good for us and helps to nourish the mind and body.
Thank you, Alicia. This is a very important part. Parents, kids, is very important. The food today is, it's like the school is so important. So I always try to ask school what kind of food they deliver, etc., etc. So thank you very much. In the meantime, we are quite reaching 70 agents. So we are increasing the number of agents join us. So for all the new agents, welcome to the WEBA Live workshop. We're just having a presentation at the moment. And we have a campus with about 460 students located close to Seattle, and Alicia is giving the presentation. Thank you very much to be on mute modality. And if you have any question, just go below on the chat system and put your question there, because we have the staff as well from the school who is reply to you. Please, Alicia, continue with the presentation.
Great. Well, thank you, Richard. And I'm so pleased to be able to share about our school this morning with so many agents from around the world. We really have a very unique and special program. And, as the principal of the school, I couldn't be selling the school without it being something that I truly believe in. I witness this incredible power of an Archbishop Murphy education every day in our interactions with kids. And I'm fortunate to have some great people from our school with me this morning. Again, our director of admissions, you heard from briefly earlier on, Jana Zitnik will present again momentarily. Our president, Steve Schmetz, will talk a little bit at the end. But at this point, I'm going to briefly turn it over to Shay Meehan, who is our director of our international program. And he's going to talk a little bit about some of the unique supports that are specifically in place for international students when they join Archbishop Murphy High School.
Hi, everyone, and thank you, Alicia, for the introduction. I'm so happy to be here and to have some time to talk with all of you from all over the world. Part of our mission, our school's mission, is to celebrate diversity. So I see a question in the chat about nationalities, and we were just talking about different types of food, and that's kind of where my role lies at Archbishop Murphy. I'm lucky enough to be that support person and be that liaison between our international students and our families and our agents, just to make sure that everybody is having a good experience and learning at their best selves. So not only do we have my role as the director of the program, but we also have a full-time ESL teacher helping our students with ELL and language support. We have 3 full-time counselors who help with not only social emotional needs, but also with getting our students to great universities. And we do that with weekly check-ins with all of our international students. That includes an after-school event every Monday where we get to gather together and talk about homework and talk about homestays, and also invite guests from the outside world to talk about TOEFL tests and maybe representatives from University of Washington. So it really is a goal of our school to make sure that our international students feel welcome and included and involved, but also that they feel like they have a home and a place within the school. And so we try to create this close-knit, this family together. So we welcome students from all over the world. And once again, we're happy to have you all here to learn about our school.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you very much for your introduction. It's always nice to hear you. And I get, in the meantime, several questions from agent. How many nationalities of students you have on campus? Out of the blue, looking at all the video yesterday, today, I can reach about 25 different countries, which I'm familiar with, like Southeast Asia. Then you have people as well from Central South America. You have students coming. It's quite very mixed. So I presume, ladies and gentlemen, with a campus of over 450 students, they will represent, on my view, around 25 to 35 different countries. Alicia, I'm correct? I mean, you have all type of students coming from everywhere at the moment, even from Europe, I presume.
Oh yes, we are an incredibly diverse campus. We have students that represent a broad range of nationalities and cultural backgrounds, which is something that our kids really enjoy about getting to interact with so many different people, and which is partly why we value just building those connections with each other so much.
Thank you. I can see Jana is, I spoke to Jana yesterday, or 2 days ago, sorry, and she is from Slovenia, which is close to my country, Switzerland. And so this is, as you can see, they have as well an international staff, which is very important too.
Absolutely. We say we value diversity and we really mean it. And that's reflected in our faculty, staff, and student body. There's just a broad range of different nationalities and cultures represented in our community. And we see that as a true strength.
So I can see, for example, Christine Yen. Christine, who had the interview before when we started, she's from Taiwan, and now she's attending the University of Washington. A question about Christine. I can see she's always happy, always smiling, and we love this kind of students. I presume that you miss Christine when she left the University of Washington. A question, how you assist the students to apply at the University of Washington? How did you assist them? You help them to prepare them for the interview? Maybe you, this question I think is more for you.
Yeah, sure. So I work with students and our full-time guidance counselors, starting as early as their freshman year. So starting, if we get them in 9th or 10th grade, we start early, we start practicing, we start talking about what a good resume looks like and how to prepare for, their TOEFL tests or any other admission requirements. So that starts early. And then we work in the U.S., we go through, most schools go through the Common App, or a program that we call Naviance. So we navigate that with students, how to prepare their teacher recommendations and work with their teachers on those, how to write their their acceptance applications and everything. So the whole process. And we do have 100% graduation rate. And a lot of our students go to really great schools. Last year, we sent about 8 students to the University of Washington, but also we have students go to Baylor and University of Michigan and Dartmouth, Berkeley, UCLA, all over the US. So we're pretty lucky that we have some top students going to really top universities.
So this is, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very big advantage to enroll your students inside in this high school, because especially for the final year or the last 2 years, so they will be ready to enter in the university, and the school will help them to enter successfully in the university. This is a very, very important point because today the university, they will look into this before to accept the students. So Alicia, is all yours. You can continue with the presentation. We are still on 69 agents with us today, and this is excellent. So as you can see, the interest is very, very high, and it's all yours.
Well, thank you, Richard. And just to share a little bit more about what Shay said is our students truly, I want to emphasize this point, our students truly do go to top universities throughout the US, including, and some choose to go to a very top university locally, which is the University of Washington. They even have opportunities to earn credits from colleges and universities, in particular UW, University of Washington is one of them locally that they earn credits from before even graduating high school. Our students are uniquely advantaged in the university admissions process by the experiences they have at school, the support they get in the college application process, and the academic rigor of our program. But we do that with support to help make sure that kids can reach very high levels of success. Shay, do you want to share anything more about our university admissions process and support process?
Just that we're here the whole process. Anything that we can do. Each student is unique, and each student comes with their own goals and their ideas of where they want to take their education. So whether they want to apply to a top business school or a really high quality medical research institution, that's our goal, is to help prepare them for college as a college prep school, and to hopefully make those dreams come true.
I have a question now coming in from different agents, is the question about the price, how much it costs to go to the school. But before to go in this part, I want to ask you something. The tuition fee is the same, because I know that now we had a situation about the COVID, so many students went back to the home country and they continue to study online, and now they're coming back this year. But for new students who unfortunately do not have the possibility to come to the US, will your school look inside on the tuition fee that maybe is a little bit less expensive than if they will come to study in the US? This is a question from Sarah Sehidita. She wants to know what is the tuition fee, or what is the difference between study online and physically on campus? Will be there a difference on the tuition fee?
Well, our president is with us today, and he's going to speak a little bit about fees and tuition a little bit later in the presentation. So I think we'll answer these questions a bit later on. But one thing I do want to highlight is that students who are attending remotely are not getting a different experience as far as the academic, the support that they're getting. For instance, Shay Meehan, our director of our international program, continues to provide these supports to students who are attending remotely, and students are getting the same classroom instruction and assignments and access to teachers if they are attending remotely as well. So we'll speak to those questions a little bit more directly slightly later in the presentation. And if we don't answer your question fully, you just let us know. The next part of our presentation, we're going to turn it over to Jana Zitnik, our Director of Admissions, who's going to talk a little bit about some of the highlights of our program in school. And we're going to start with, Jana, would you like me to start with the video that we'd like to share today?
Yeah, we have been kind of talking for a while and telling you how great our campus is and our school. And so now we're going to play a video where I will actually take you on a tour kind of our facilities and explain a little bit more about our campus.
Fantastic.
All right. Thank you, Jan. I'm going to pull that up right now. Let's see if we can get that to play here.
So we are live, ladies and gentlemen. As we all know, everything can happen. Sometimes with YouTube, there can be an issue.
Welcome to Archbishop Murphy High School. I'm Jana Zitnik, Director of Admissions. Come on inside. Our first stop is the Counseling Center. We have 3 full-time dedicated counselors here to help students register for classes here at Archbishop Murphy, but also keep them on track for whatever their plans are post-graduation. They are also here to help support students' emotional and social needs.
We do not see the video.
Oh, goodness. Hang on. Let me try that one more time here.
No problem, no problem.
My apologies. Let me see if I can get that working here.
Yes. Now try to redo it one more time. Just copy the YouTube link and put it separately. Sometimes it happens.
Just a moment here.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We have a slight problem. It will be kind if you can remain on mute modality for the new agents. We are now showing you the video of the school. And then, of course, we will pass the video as well on the chat box. Maybe if someone of you can put the video in the chat box as well, this will be very important so that people can see the YouTube video after the event is finished. So you can try one more time to share your yeah.
Welcome to Archbishop Murphy High School. I'm Jana Zitnik, Director of Admissions. Come on inside. Our first stop is the Counseling Center. We have 3 full-time dedicated counselors here to help students register for classes here at Archbishop Murphy, but also keep them on track for whatever their plans are post-graduation. They are also here to help support students' emotional and social needs. Our Black Box Theater. It's where our choir and advanced choirs do their practicing, but also a place where we can host small productions. And over here we have our band room. We have a jazz band, a concert band, as well as guitar class and an orchestra. This hallway houses our world language and math departments. For language, we offer French and Spanish, with levels 3 and 4 being for college credit. For math, we offer 2 levels of class beyond every other high school in the state, as well as a math lab after school for students that need a little extra help. This is an example of a typical science classroom. We are lucky enough here to have a partnership with Fred Hutch, so we receive some pretty state-of-the-art science equipment. In addition, we have a specialized track called the Health Studies program. This is essentially our honors science program for students. We encourage anyone who is interested in any sort of medical field to apply for this. That could be doctor, nurse, physical therapy, athletic training, etc. Now we're headed into Holy Cross Hall. It's the first building that was built on our campus. It houses our campus ministry, our athletic office, as well as our gym and theology department. This is our campus ministry office. It's a great hangout spot for students. Campus ministry supports our students' spiritual growth by retreats, all school liturgies, as well as daily prayer. In addition, both campus ministers teach sophomore theology. Here we are in our gym. It serves as a location for our PE and strength and conditioning classes, as well as a spot for our all-school assemblies and masses. St. Thomas Chapel. It was completed and dedicated in 2017. We use it for class masses as well as offering the sacrament of reconciliation to our students. Here's one of our computer labs. We offer Intro to IT, Intro to Programming, as well as AP Computer Science. Students can learn both Python and Java at Archbishop Murphy. This is our library. It's a great space for students and classes to collaborate. In addition to the books you see here, we have over 135,000 ebooks available for students to check out. In addition, our National Honor Society tutors are available before and after school in all subjects. This is our cafeteria. We have 2 lunches based on your student schedule. Lunch is available for purchase every day. Welcome to our weight room. It serves as one of our locations for our strength and conditioning classes, as well as being open before and after school for all students. Thank you so much for joining me on this tour. If you have any questions, please reach out to our admissions office. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Okay, you share the screen again. You can reshare the screen, Alicia.
I'll do that. And I've seen that some people have asked for our slides, and we can make sure those get sent out after.
Tu nombre, venga a nosotros tu reino y hágase, Señor, tu voluntad en la tierra como en el cielo.
No nos dejes caer. My apologies.
No problem at all. So we are still back here. Ladies and gentlemen, we are recording this presentation, so we will send a copy of the presentation to you today. So there is absolutely no problem. You will have the video, you will have the link, you will have the slide, everything will be sent to you later today, maximum tomorrow. So thank you very much to stay here. Soon we will welcome Steve Schmidt, which is the boss of the school, and he will explain us about the prices, about the commission. So be a little bit patient with us, and Steve will join us in a second. Alicia, please continue with the presentation.
Great, thank you, Richard. I'm going to turn it back over to Jana, who's going to share a few key highlights before we introduce Steve Schmitz, the president of our school.
Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of wrap up before I go into what exactly is the admissions process at Archbishop Murphy, wrap up what we've been talking to you about this morning, and why students should want to come to Archbishop Murphy. And so just a few quick bullet points is we're very close to Seattle, have lots of partnerships with local businesses and companies, as well as universities. We have small class sizes, 100% graduation rate, individualized and specialized college counseling for every student, acceptance of our students into top US universities, over 20 AP and college credit course offerings, which we all know is very important to get that admission for US universities. We have a very expansive, beautiful, and safe campus for students. We have a wonderful, dedicated international student coordinator on our campus. We offer support for students, especially in 9th and 10th grade in ELL. We have what you might consider a typical American high school experience, which is I know what a lot of students are looking when they choose to come to the United States. And so we do have over 20 sports teams and over 30 clubs that they can get involved in. Now for the admissions process, I do want to reiterate that Archbishop Murphy is capable of issuing I-20s, and so we are very willing and able to do that. For our admissions process, we do have an online application, and so once a student fills that out, we ask that following that we receive the most recent language proficiency scores. And so we accept all of the standard language proficiency scores. If students have taken a different test, say the Duolingo or something like that, with doing things online right now, just please reach out to us. We want to see official transcripts. What classes have the students taken? What do their grades look like? So for any student applying to grades 9, we would like to see 7th and 8th grade. And then for other students, we want to see any sort of high school type 9th through 11th grade transcripts. We need to see a copy of the student's passport, a bank statement to show sufficient funds to be able to pay for school. We do ask for a writing sample from students, and the prompt is here. It's also available on our website. And then we do require 2 academic letters of recommendation. So teachers can either send us a recommendation that they already have, or we do have a very easy form for them to fill out. And sort of once we've received all of these materials, myself and Shay will reach out and we do interviews with students sort of within 5 days of those complete applications.
Great, thank you so much, Jana. And so lastly, I'd like to introduce, you've already met me, Alicia Mitchell, the principal of the school, Shay Meehan, our director of our international program, and Jana Zitnik, our director of admissions and marketing. But I'd also like to introduce to you the president of our school, Steve Schmetz, who will tell you a little bit more about Archbishop Murphy, and then hopefully we can answer any questions you might have that weren't addressed in our presentation. So I'm going to turn it over to Steve.
Great. Thank you, Alicia, and to Jana and Shay, thank you for your presentation. Richard, great to see you as always. Always well-dressed, impeccably dressed.
Now, I think it's 3 o'clock for you in the morning now, start. Very interesting timing to give a presentation.
Yeah, it's either late or early, it depends on how you look at it, but we're just happy to be here, excited to be able to share a little bit about our school and our story with all of the agents from around the world. Welcome to everybody, and thank you for joining us. I'm here to add a couple things, and then also, I guess, part of my role is to talk about the financial aspects of our program. But I just want to stress a few things. I've been at the school since 2006. I've worked in a variety of roles, and I'm blessed to be in the role of president at the school, which means I, have oversight over the operations of the school, primarily the financial operations of the school, but also to make sure that we're living our mission. And I think Alicia spoke very well to what our mission is, and that's to educate our students and prepare them to become great leaders in their community, wherever they are. And when they come to us, we take care of our students like they're our own children. And I think that's one of the amazing aspects of an international program, is that parents from around the world are sending their children to us from thousands of miles away. I've had 2 of my own children go through Archbishop Murphy, and I can honestly say I felt a partnership with the teachers and the counselors at the school as a parent. When my students had trouble, I knew that they had people that they could count on. And so one of the reassuring things I hope that the agents here understand is how much we are dedicated and really strive to care for and provide a safe environment for all of our students, especially our international students, because we know they're coming from so far away, and that this really is a meaningful cultural experience for them. So I can't stress that enough. The safety that we provide and the care and the consideration and compassion that we provide to our students is paramount. It's a primary reason why we all strive to do what we do at Archbishop Murphy. I think a reflection of a really great school is when you have students come back to visit, and we often see our students come back to visit during the holidays, but we also have students come back to work at Archbishop Murphy, and Jana and Shay are two examples of the 12 alumni that we have working at our school. And I think that really says a lot about the teachers and the counselors and the administration that we have, is that our students want to come back and stay connected with us because we really are family. And I think that for me, as a parent of now 2 college students that graduated from Archbishop Murphy, that was a huge part of my experience as a parent and also as an employee of the school. We touched a little bit on the wellness program that we have, which for us, I think is truly a different program from any school in our area. We educate the entire student, mind, body, and spirit. And I think what happens throughout the adolescent years for all high school students are these challenges. And we saw that more than anything in 2020 with the pandemic. And we're so excited to see our students coming back on campus because they really do need that human interaction and they need that connectivity with one another, but also with our adults on campus. We truly minister to them and to their needs. I think what our international program really represents is the diversity of our school. We're so excited to have people from around the world with us this evening. And we look forward to a working relationship with you and the hope that we can continue to have these conversations. You may have a number of questions. Richard had asked for me to share a couple things about what the financial aspects of our program look like for you. And we do have an agent agreement that we're putting together to share with those of you who would like to work with us. As we work with agents who are working with families to send their children to Archbishop Murphy, our base tuition for international students will be $25,000. We do have a homestay program that we work with currently. It's GP Homestay, and Shay has a great working relationship with the director of that program, who we've known now for what, 6-7 years, Shay. She's remarkable. She, along with Shay, lead our students on cultural experiences, what you may consider as field trips throughout the greater area, to really understand and appreciate the culture, not just the cuisine and the great food that we have in our area, which we do, but also the museums and the theater and the aspects of nature that we have in an abundance in the Pacific Northwest. It truly is a remarkable geographical center of our country. Our commission rate for agents right now is 15% of that tuition. And so we'll have that in the agreement that we'll send to you as we work with you and welcome you into our community. The GP Homestay program has rates that range between $18,000 and $20,000 for the families to consider, and that would include the insurance that would be required for them to attend Archbishop Murphy High School. They're a wonderful agency. We do certainly welcome those families who may have extended family or have connections in the area to stay with those families as well. We welcome our host families as families in our community. They are truly parents at Archbishop Murphy. They come to our events, they come to our orientations, they cheer on their international students in their activities, whether it be in athletics or performing arts. So really the host families are our families. And that's what made this experience so meaningful. Richard, I may not have answered the questions that you had posed before, so please feel free to
yes. I mean, we are all business people here, and I used to work with school and university. So Alicia, Yana, and they give really an excellent presentation and explaining details. We saw the campus for the new agents. This is a great campus close to Seattle. They have about 450 students. So they have students coming from all around the world. It's a school since 30 years. So they have the concept of this school is they have a program in the campus plus accommodation in homestay family, if they wish. So this is how it works. So the school is in charge of the program, and then they have a third party who is in charge of the accommodation. The commission that the school is giving is 50%, 1.5, which is a very good commission for one student. Of course, if you bring more than 3 students, I'm sure that Steve is more than happy to look inside. So At the end, you will receive anyway an email, and we are recording now the presentation here. You will receive a copy of the presentation. You will even receive a copy of the agent's agreement at once. So we are trying to prepare a package. Let's say we will send out this tomorrow, not today. So we have 1 day time to prepare everything. Then with the cooperation of the school, we will send out this to you. Now, in refer of the tuition fee, what is the tuition fee that is for the agents, Steve?
The commission?
No, the tuition fee, the tuition fee.
So the tuition for the students would be $25,000 per year.
Okay. So the tuition fee is 25,000 US dollar, and the commission is 50%, 1.5. So this is fine. Now I have another question, which I come back to one of the questions that Sahara Seidita made me on the chat system this morning. She asked me, if a student is starting the program online from his home country because of some reason cannot travel at the moment, will be the same tuition fee or will be less? I know that we already discussed about this, and of course, everything is new because I know that you're now offering this, but you're offering this for the students who already registered before, who went back in the home country. So of course they need to continue, and the fee remain the same. But for the new students, starting from September 2021, will the school look into this, that offer a better tuition fee for students who are not able to fly to the United States and join you on campus?
Richard, it's a great question. And prior to this year, we did not have as robust an online offering as we have had in the past year with the pandemic. We actually offered a tuition rebate to all of our families this year, both international and domestic students. So it's certainly something that we're looking at, you know, as we move forward with the international program and our domestic student program as well. So certainly that is open for conversation.
Fantastic, because based on the presentation made from she and Alicia, it was mentioned as well that the credits will before the admission, so the school is able to give some credit before the admission, and this is a very good part if the student is still study at home because of some reason, or maybe they cannot travel because the country doesn't give them the permission to go out of the country. This is a very important point. So I really ask if you have time, Steve, in the next couple of days to look into this. So when we go back with the second email, so tomorrow we will send out the first email with the basis information, and then with the second email, maybe we enlarge a bit more information about the possibility to study online from home, because this is happen now. Many students around the world are doing the US or the Canadian or the British high school at home the final year, so that they can travel after that, because we don't know what happened if we have the fourth wave, the fifth wave, the sixth wave, how is the corona, how is the lockdown, etc., etc. So every agent need to prepare themselves. We are all new on this, of course, me included, and you, everyone. So but I always say we have to work together. We have to find new solution that students are able to join your school physically, but if it's not possible, at least if they can start online, and then maybe on the second year they will come physically at your school. This is something that I want to discuss with you in a second stage, Steve.
Yes, and Richard, I just want to add a couple things that I'm not sure. I know that we touched upon our AP program, our college and the high school program. For those students who do choose to challenge themselves in those courses and receive an incredible experience and education along the way, we'll have students that will graduate from Archbishop Murphy having completed a year of college while at Archbishop Murphy as far as course credit. So you talk about saving money in the long run, there's that avenue. But I was talking with a parent this afternoon whose son is a senior at Archbishop Murphy, and he's applied to 23 colleges. That's a little unusual to apply to that many universities, but the student wants to explore all the possibilities. Richard, he is averaging over $80,000 per per college offer right now. So the return on investment for our families, for students who come to Archbishop Murphy, translates well beyond just the character development and the education that they're going to receive. We'll have students that may receive more money from college scholarships, in effect paying less money to go to college than they would pay to go to Archbishop Murphy High School. So I think that's an important aspect to share with the families. The scholarship opportunities, the relationships that we have with college admissions directors put us at the top of any high school in our area.
Yeah. I have another question. Two questions that are coming from the agents. The first question is on the $25,000 tuition fee, what is included?
So that will include everything except for textbooks that students will have to purchase. They can also get electronic copies of textbooks. They can purchase used textbooks to save on the cost. In some cases, we have books that we can help students obtain, and some teachers have classroom sets of books. The $25,000 will include all fees for all of their courses and for any activity that they should want to engage in, whether that's athletics, performing arts, mock trial, robotics. So they're not coming and expected to pay anything else. They do have to pay for their own lunch should they choose to purchase the lunch from the school program. But aside from that, the $25,000 is everything.
I have a question to you. You know, we are all the new generation, the generation Z, they're all sport. They're all going to the sport world. Tell me a little bit about what kind of sport activity they can do on your campus, outside of the campus. What is the advantage to come to your school? If you will find the parents today, you will talk to them, come to my school. What you would suggest him?
So we have over 20 sports, and Richard, every sport season we have a sport that any student can participate in without fear of not making the team. Okay, we call it a no-cut sport, if that doesn't make any sense. Students can participate, whether it's cross country, whether it's tennis, whether it's American football, baseball, basketball, softball, volleyball, swimming and diving. We have lacrosse, very popular sport in our area, especially. We have students who participate in athletics that we don't offer in the local area, like equestrian riding, archery. There's clubs that we have that are athletic based. Ultimate Frisbee is a very popular activity in our area that students can participate in as a club with a club moderator. So there's no local sport that we don't offer, or at least provide an opportunity for our students. And then beyond that, Richard, we have a very robust strength and conditioning program that students can participate in before and after school, or take as an elective course during the school day, because we really do believe in the physical health and well-being of our students, along with their emotional and mental health.
Thank you very much, Steve. I want to share something now. I prepared something for all the agents and for you as well. So if the agents are interested to start to recruit students for this school, they will able to take advantage of the documentation that I will show to you now. And this is a win-win for everyone. So let me share my screen a second. So what I prepare on my site, I prepare a complete documentation so that you can see, because the agents are business people. So if you send one student on this school, you will be able, after the student finish the high school, to register as well your student in one of these universities indicated here in the US, and you will get the commission. So I prepare a big file with all the university. I will scroll down very, very slow so that you can see a little bit what kind of university we're talking about. You will find always what is your commission, etc., etc. So as you can see, we at WEBA, we prepare a big work for you to think about. So think about the advantage. If you send one student, you will be able to work with all this university and get the commission as indicated here. So this is something very, very new that WEBA want to show to all the agents. And this came out for the first time today for the US market. So this was the big surprise that I want to give. I not even speak to Steve before about that, but this is a big advantage. If you send one student, you will be able to enroll the student in one of these universities and get the commission, because you get the commission once from the school for the final year or for the last 2 years, or from grade 9, 10, 11, 12, and an additional from one of these universities indicated here. And I just scroll down a little bit more and more. As you can see, we have about more than 90, more than 100. This is my staff prepared this in the last 3 days. We select an excellent group of university on top, of course, of Washington University, which Alicia, Yana mentioned. So this is, you have a big adventure. If you start to work with this school, if you enroll one student, then you can go into the second step. So you have two, you can take, like we said, two chicken at once. We say it like this one in business-wise. So Steve, I hope you like it. This new concept, which I prepared, is the first time I bring this on board. And usually I'm working mostly with individual concept, but I'm thinking it's time to change. It's time to give a very big selection of university to the agents. So when they send one student to you, you let me know who is the agent who enrolled the students, and we will send this documentation to the agent so that he is able to choose. He can show this to the parents, and this will be a very big help. I come back now what you said before, and this is a great example. The parents that you were speaking yesterday in the afternoon just said that he enrolled his son in 23 different colleges, and this is the reality today. But you can only do this if you have a big portal, and we have a big portal at WEBA. And so this is the strategy to cooperate with agent, with you, and when you get the students, you come back to me and with the agent's name, and we will provide them the list of the university which they can enroll the students. What are you thinking?
I think it's great. I thank you for sharing that. It's a very exciting opportunity, and you know, great list of colleges and universities that you have contained there.
I will send you the list to you, so you are able to send this directly to the agents when they enroll with you, and just let me know when they do this, and so we can work together in both directions. So for all the agents, remember, this is a great opportunity today. This is why I always leave the best at the end. You should know me. Many of you know me since many years. And again, I want to say hello. Hello, Cindy. How are you, Cindy? How are you, Cindy, today?
Fine. Yeah, but it's nice. It's sunny and a beautiful weather today.
Fantastic. So did you enjoy the workshop?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you to join me.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, it's always nice to have you on board here and with your experience. Cindy is an agent from recruiting students in South Korea. So a very interesting market. How you working with US school? You work with US school, Cindy, or you're working more with UK?
No,
Canada?
I mean, honestly not, but I will, because this school is fantastic and very, interesting. But before not, only like Europe and then Switzerland. Yeah.
More Europe.
Yeah, more Europe.
More Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we hope that we open a door of South Korean students into the US, because it's always interesting to study in the US and go into this top university. About 4 weeks ago, I had Harvard University with me in a presentation, and I will try to get them next week again to give a short presentation about the importance to study in the US, because still the US is the dream, the place to go, because we all love to go to the US, and the US people are fantastic people. I have fantastic experience. I love to go to Los Angeles, San Francisco. I've been many times, New York, Florida. And of course, I will enjoy to go to Seattle one day and to visit the school. Thank you very much to join us, Cindy, today. And thanks to all the agents that join me all the time today and in all the events. We had more than 150 workshops since the COVID started. Fortunately or unfortunately, depend how we see this. Steve, you want to say something to finalizing everything?
Well, I did want to respond to one question in the chat here, Richard, and it's about tuition payments and how the families can make those payments. We do allow families to spread their tuition payments out over the school year. We have some that pay in total upfront, or some that pay quarterly, and others that pay monthly. So I just wanted to make sure that that was a consideration as you meet with families and prospective students to Archbishop Murphy. I just want to again thank you, Richard, for being a wonderful host as always, for bringing everyone together this morning, this evening, wherever you are in the world. I wish you all a wonderful Wednesday, and hope that you're all safe and healthy, and as well as your loved ones. So thank you again for joining us.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Yana. Thank you, Shi. Thank you to all the speakers. We had a very great workshop. I enjoyed very much. I learned a lot. What we forgot for our Russian clients in Ukraine is that the Seattle area is very famous for ice hockey as well. So if you have some students who play ice hockey, Steve can help the students to place them into some ice hockey team. Is this correct?
Yeah, hockey is a very popular sport throughout the United States and Canada, of course. And in Seattle, we now have a Major League Hockey team, the NHL Seattle Kraken will be joining the league here. And we have remarkable youth programs in our area and all sorts of opportunities for students to participate in ice hockey. We are now the center of the hockey world, Richard.
I know. This is why I came back to you about this one. So for all the agents who just joined us, the last 2-3 agents who just joined us, we come to the end. We had a great presentation today, and let's say I want to recapitulate a little bit about everything, which I always think is very important. The school is a high school. A student can apply from grade 9 to grade 12. The school will help the students to apply for on the final years into some university. But on top of that, I just present a list of university which is which you are able to work together through WEBA, of course, if you enroll one student to the school. You will get a commission. The commission is 50%, 1.5. The tuition fee is $25,000 US. And on top of that, you have to calculate as well the accommodation in homestay family. What is very important is, of course, Steve is open to discuss if you bring more than one student, and as well in refer of the commission. And another important point, we will come back to you tomorrow with a complete email, which include as well this workshop recorded and with a copy of the agent's agreement. On top of that, next week, we will send you an email in refer of the tuition fee in case you have students who want to start online in the home country. Because we all know, because of the situation of the pandemic, some of the students cannot travel. They're still not eligible to travel, but they are interested to start and do the high school program from home. And they already have this program. They're already working on the Moodle platform, and they offer this in live session. So for students, or even for local school in the home country, if you have some local school who are interested to bring on board the possibility to offer a US high school program, then you should contact me or Steve, because we can work out the possibility for the local school to offer the US high school program to their own students. I had an example with another school, which we are now working excellent. For example, in Nigeria, we have a school who offering one particular program. We have in the US, we have in Australia. So now you have the possibility to work with Steve if you have a local school who is interested to offer a US program. So on my side, I would like to share one more time the list that I showed before for the university. So if you send one student to this school, you will be able to apply your students as well in one of the university indicated here. And we have a huge list of universities, and you will get a commission. I just make an example, University of North Alabama. You can see for undergraduate, you have a 10% commission, etc., etc. Everything is written here. We prepare this documentation. It's the first time we present this documentation out to the public, to the agents. And this will be only possible if you enroll one student for this school. So this is the information I want to give to you. And I can see that now is the time is ending of this presentation. Thank you very much to join us. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Yana. Thank you, Shi. Thanks to all the agents. Take care, stay safe, and important, stay healthy, because we want to work with you and we want to see you healthy all the time. Thank you very much.